been poisoning kids in Cleveland for generations.
Cleveland has a serious problem with lead.
In 1970, Mayor Carl Stokes testified to a Senate subcommittee about the impacts of lead. 8 years later, the federal government banned the use of lead-based paint.
Lead is a disguise killer.
Fast forward more than 4 decades, and a coalition is created to tackle Cleveland's lead problem.
It's a crisis if you have lead in your home.
But with 90% of the homes in Cleveland today built before that lead paint ban, the battle persists with no clear end in sight.
We still have children that are being poisoned every day in the city of Cleveland.
In fact, data shows 20% of children in the city still have elevated levels of lead in their blood, and that's just those who have been tested.
So tonight, News 5's Clay Lepard is following through with a new push to better understand just how widespread lead poisoning still is in Cleveland.
We're getting there. The awareness is there.
Ask Carla Moody.
There's a chance every house that you see, there's a chance that child could get poisoned in the houses.
To find a house with visible lead-based paint.
Yes to that one, 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 yes, yes, yes.
On Cleveland's east side, where even the state knows lead paint is still a problem.
So I don't see a house in sight right now that does not have lead.
Moody, a lead risk assessor, along with the grassroots nonprofit Undivided Cleveland, just finished replacing 22 windows on this home.
This is our 11th property.
Yet another group trying to chip away at this problem.
There is still a need.
This multi-generational home no longer filled with fears for Debbie Calloway's 4-year-old great-granddaughter.
See, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to think about, wow, is she breathing in any lead? We don't have to think about that anymore. Okay, how many times do you want to open and close the windows? I don't have to think about that anymore.
It comes at a time.
I'm just frustrated with the city of Cleveland.
Our community is still losing this fight.
You still talking about the same stuff, same stuff, same stuff.
Where this common enemy still has a sizable lead. A Cleveland Public Health report from last October pointed out that 1 out of every 5 children continue to have hazardous levels of lead in their blood. And the number of children actually being tested is dropping, especially on the east side.
I think everyone kind of knew that the testing rates would decrease at that point in time because of the pandemic, but they have not rebounded. They have gone in a negative trend.
The Lead Safe Cleveland Coalition, which received $100 million from the Cleveland Clinic, the city, and other major donors when it formed in 2019, just signed off on using $1 million of its dollars to increase the number of children tested over the next year and a half.
We need to look at where the gaps are the biggest.
Beginning this summer, that means looking at new ways to meet families where they are, administering more lead testing and more following up when the toxic metal is present. As we reported last year, 11 children tested positive for lead in properties that the city had already deemed lead safe.
How do you better equip someone's home or remediate a home to remove lead or make sure that's not being an exposure risk? How do you do that within daycares, et cetera? But then also, once they've been exposed, how do we get them connected to care that they need?
Trying to address what's felt like a drop in this problematic bucket that's coated with lead. Where are we in this fight with lead?
You know, we're in the thick of things. I mean, it is a fight, and I'm glad you used that word. It really is a fight because we've been at this fight. The community has been at this fight for over 40 years.
In Cleveland.
Our children deserve better.
Clay Lepard, News 5.
Been a fight for so long. We'll take a closer look now at what else is being done to clean up Cleveland's lead problem. The main focus of the Lead Safe Cleveland Coalition is the city's Lead Safe certification program, requiring the owners of rental properties built before 1978 to prove the units they rent are safe from lead hazards. As of the third quarter of 2023, the latest numbers available, less than 7,000 properties and nearly 30,000 units were lead safe certified. There's also local, state, and federal efforts to replace lead water lines, as well as a focus on the actual ground we walk on. Cleveland Lead Advocates for Safe Housing recently offered soil testing. City of Cleveland launched a pilot program to test and treat soil for lead as well.